Well, guys, I just saw the Mario movie, and this is my review of it. I know you're gonna immediately ask me right off the bat, what did I think? Before I do that, I want to say I'm gonna give a spoiler-free review here first, and then I'm gonna go into spoilers and basically retell the movie, or give my version of it. But you want to hear what I thought about it immediately, and I'm not gonna be joking around with this. I'm just gonna be very sincere about it. Mario, okay? At no point in this movie was I entertained. I was never, in my head, really stimulated. At no point in the movie did I enjoy it. In fact, I walked out of this movie when the credits rolled, and I wanted my money back. Minus 10 out of 10. Okay. Now that I've got my hyperbolic bullshit out, I'm gonna be sincere for a moment. This movie, if you want to score immediately what I really thought, so you can check off the video, I'm gonna give this movie a very... I'm gonna be real with you guys. I love this movie, and I'm serious about that. I thought it was an 8 out of 10. This was a dream for me to watch, and it was everything I hoped it could have ever been as a child. When I was a kid, I was like, one of these days they're gonna make a Mario movie, and this is it. This couldn't have been more perfect as a dream movie for, you know, a Mario fan like me. I was ecstatic watching this. I know this sounds stupid, but it made me feel like a little kid again, and it made me slightly emotional at times, because I was watching this movie, and there's stuff you see in this where I dreamed of this as a kid. And when I was watching it, I was like, man, fuck, you know. I don't know. But, I really, really like this movie. And I'm going to be talking a lot about this. Again, I'm going to be starting off giving sort of a spoiler-free sort of review of it. But no, I'm being very serious about this. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed this movie. You know. I might be a little scatterbrained because I just saw this movie. I just got home. I had dinner, and very late dinner, mind you. But for me, at least, this was a movie that was a love letter to fans who's continuing to play the games, or at some point have played the games. I think it definitely verges on the fact that you definitely should have played some games before you gone into this, but I think it's also part of cultural osmosis at this point to know what Super Mario is. The movie necessarily doesn't need, you don't need, I mean, of course you, the viewer, has played a Mario game before, but for an audience that is unfamiliar with this, there's like, oh, you know, he's a plumber, right? You know, and you know, I know that Bowser dragon thing and the princess, right? And on the foundation of that, this movie also works, but if you're a fan of this franchise, you owe it to yourself to see this. A lot of people were skeptical at first about this, saying Illumination, it's going to be like a stupid Minions movie and it's going to be grating to watch. Not at all. Not at all. There's parts in this that genuinely made me laugh. And I think the biggest criticism I can give this movie is that some of the pacing sometimes is a little too fast. In fact, I wish this movie was a little longer. But my biggest complaint is that there's so much fan service in this, and there's so many references on the screen, that sometimes the joke go by really quickly, that you don't have a moment to take it all in. That is not a big complaint against the movie, but I wish it was a little longer so it could just slow down a little bit, you know. But, you know, I really, really like this movie. And I can say this. This is not a spoiler, by the way. You know about this. The Super Mario Brothers commercial that you saw on like Twitter and the memes about, you know, the little ad, that's how the movie starts. And I was joking, like, I just want a Super Mario Brothers Super Show, the movie. And I got it. I could not have imagined this movie being, like, up to my expectations, but it really was. It was really, really fun to watch. Now, if you watch my review of the reviews that was first pouring in from the internet, where these critics were basically saying, that's what I was making fun of at the very beginning, this movie doesn't use scathing satire to criticize problems in the world. Those critics can go fuck themselves, quite honestly. Like, no joke. I was thinking about during the movie, like, what kind of asshole sits and watches a movie like this and is not entertained by two brothers who have a strong bond and faces adversity and, proves themselves at the end that, we can do it. Like, how cynical do you have to be to watch this and cross your arms and go, no. This is a little adventure cartoon movie, and of course it's for kids, but there's parts in this that is very, I wouldn't say the humor is adult, but there's some stuff in here I'm like, they put this in the movie, but yeah, overall I would say, if you're wondering about how I felt about Mario's voice, how about the fact that there's celebrity voice stuff in this or whatever, I was worried too. But Chris Pratt genuinely grew on me. I was like, this is fine. This is fine. And you're probably wondering, does he do the voice? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care if this is a spoiler or not. The people that say he doesn't do the voice are all gaslighting idiots, okay? He does do the voice. And in the context of the movie, they explain why he doesn't do the voice. Because in the commercial of the stuff, he sounds, and he does that to be like, hey, I'm folksy, and I'm Mario, It's a Mamma Mia, that. But then he's like, oh god, I sound like an idiot, don't I? And I'm gonna drop you a spoiler. So I'm sorry if you're already like, holy shit. But a lot of it is like, I want Super Mario represented on screen. Okay, I'm gonna drop a spoiler now. Charles Martinet plays the inspiration for Mario in the movie. There's a guy hanging out where Mario is. I think it's a restaurant or a little place. And it's like, I need to sound like you to make this Super Mario Brothers plumbing commercial work. And he's like, it's a good. I sound like this. And it's like, I'm trying to be like you, There we go. So, I'm gonna tell you that's the only real major spoiler, because a lot of people were wondering about Chris Pratt's performance, if it was indeed gonna be that or whatever. And I'm gonna say this too, about the celebrity voice work. Charlie Day as Luigi is fantastic. At no point did I visually see Charlie Day in the recording booth being like, oh, I gotta read this. No, he lives this role, and it's a fantastic performance. I would arguably say that Chris Pratt is very, I would say, standard, and I wouldn't necessarily say, he does a marvelous, performance. But in the context of the movie, you're perfectly fine with Mario sounding that way. Charlie Day plays more of an eccentric sort of performance, and it works really well for Luigi. And I can promise you this, when you see this movie yourself, you're probably gonna say, man, I wish there was a Luigi movie. Because Luigi is a really fun character in this movie, You have Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and I gotta be perfectly clear with you guys. I have nothing against Seth Rogen, but I stopped thinking about it. In fact, I didn't even think about it at the start. I'm like, oh, that's just Donkey Kong. And Mario and Donkey Kong has they develop a friendship in the movie, and it's great. And But let's be honest, who really who really steals the show in this movie is Bowser, Jack Black. Jack Black's performance as Bowser, I know he's done, like, you know, he's a very, like, Jack Black is Jack Black, of course, but he fit the role of Bowser here really well. And I can say this, they did not waste the fact that it is Jack Black. Because, let's just say this, there is singing in the movie. Not like big musical numbers where you're like, oh, get it over with. There's more so little jokes by the fact that it is Jack Black. So it's very Tenacious D-esque. So I really enjoyed that. But listen, I'm gonna not talk too much about this spoiler-free thing. I did mention the fact that Charles Martinet was in the movie. But you knew that already. You know, if you watch the Nintendo Directs. And, you know, that's the thing I gotta say about this. This is a huge thing. It is a video game movie that gets it right. And I don't want to throw any shade towards the Sonic movie. But the Sonic movies look so thin compared to this. Because this is really evocative of the games. There's no compromise here of like, yeah, it's kinda like that. No, you get Super Mario on this. Okay? You don't have to be like, oh, there's a little reference in the background. No, this is super duper goddamn Mario, okay? So, I enjoyed the Sonic movies, but I definitely say this is how you do it. So, you know, but it seems that video game movies have a bit of a stronger place in the cinematic market right now, because, you know, Sonic movie was entertaining, but this I really enjoyed. And you know, of course, maybe my opinion will change in a year, where my, I don't know, lack for a better term, hype is over. I just did see the movie, so hey. But it's a movie about these two brothers that go through an adventure in a strange new world, and they meet these characters along the way, and they have to defeat the villain. And what did I think of the movie? As I said, 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. It had a lot of heart. It made me, I want to say emotional, but it made me feel something during it. And perhaps that is because this source material is very, you know, I grew up on this stuff. It's part of why I stream, you know. But at the end of the day, I was thoroughly entertained. It left me wanting more. And I wish the movie was even longer, in fact. And it felt like I was watching Super Mario Bros. Super Show. The jokes, the tone, it was great. It was great. The only criticism I have of the movie is that the pacing can be a little fast at times. And there's so much going on screen sometimes. You've seen the trailer, of course. Like, you have the Mario Kart kind of thing going on in the movie. And at that point, you're like, oh, this is a lot, you know. But, as I said, really entertaining movie. I recommend it. And whenever this comes out on streaming services, give it a watch. You might enjoy it, or you might not. I don't know. But I think in a way, you almost owe it to yourself as a video game fan to check this out. Maybe you're contrarian and you're like, I hate Mario. Watch it anyway. See what you feel. You know. But I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And it was everything I wanted this movie to be. I felt a little Joey inside of me just saying, this is it. This is the Mario movie. And it accurately represented the games. And I'm very happy with it. Great movie. Now, spoilers. Hardcore spoilers. Who here has already seen the movie? Me. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put spoilers on screen. There we go. No bullshit about this. Now, here we go. When this movie started off, as I said, they start with a little bit of an 8-bit thing going on. And I was like, alright. But Brooklyn in this movie is exactly what it is like in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It is fantastic. And the fact that they have to go around doing plumbing shit and they have to do all this stuff, it's a delight. If they have, I'm serious about this. They have to fix a bathroom, you know, and man, I'm sorry, I'm still not fully processing the movie, but as they're fixing this bathroom, you know, later on after that job, they're like, man, this, you know, it's a lot to do this, you know, but hey, they get to the Mario Brothers family, and it's this Italian-American family eating at a dinner table, and you see fucking Granddad Mario and the other people sitting there. And guess what? Mario does not like mushrooms on his pasta, and Luigi's like, I'll take it. You know, and his family, I think it's his uncle or whatever it is, he kind of thinks of Mario as a joke. He's like, why do you wear the white gloves? I mean, and Mario's like, well, I gotta have a trademark, you know, we gotta stand out. And the uncle kind of gives him shit, and he's like, you know what, fuck this. He goes to his room and plays Kid Icarus on the NES. And then Luigi comes in and is like, hey man, I got some pasta left for you and eat, you know. And then later, this scene happens, okay? They get to this secret warp zone, not working on a drain, but they go down in like downtown Brooklyn, and they go into a sewage thing because basically there's a flooding, and they're like, wait a minute, our job is to fix this, let's do it. And they go try to fix it up, and guess what? They happen to plop down in the sewers. And well, make a long story short, they find a secret warp zone, you know, the warp pipe. And some stuff was recontextualized, if you're wondering. You know, in the trailer, in the reveal, where Mario goes, what is this place? That was not in the movie. They took that out and put it before, when they're in the sewers. And if you're wondering, that's in there. In fact, a lot of the musical cues, a fuck ton of musical cues from Cozy Condom is in this. But listen, I don't want to completely just go through the movie and just explain scene by scene all that stuff. But you know, they Mario meets Toad. The thing is, Mario and Luigi get separated early in the movie because while they're in the warp zone, Luigi breaks off and pops off to like Dry Bones Luigi's Mansion world. And Mario happens to be in the Mushroom Kingdom, you know, and Luigi gets captured, you know, and brought to Bowser. And the plot is a little bit of a twist on the formula of Mario. Luigi is essentially the princess in this movie. You know, he's the one captured, and Peach is trying to defend the kingdom from Bowser. So it's by the way, I just want to give a caveat, a footnote to this. All what I'm trying to describe is how you want this to be. It doesn't feel like they got it wrong, you know. So even though this might seem outlandish for a Mario movie, it just works, and it feels like you're watching something of a Mario product. You know, this is evocative of the games and everything. But listen, when they get to Bowser, Bowser stole the show. Bowser's having a heavy metal concert, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get Princess Peach, and I'm gonna marry her. And everybody's like, what? What do you mean? It's like, well, I like her. And then, you know, the problem is Bowser is so insecure about himself that when Bowser hears that Mario met Peach, he blows up, and it's like, wait, did you like plumbers? And he tries really hard to, you know, it's great. It's great. And I gotta talk about the musical scenes. After a little bit, they cut to the stars, and off in the distance, you see Bowser playing the piano, and he's doing this power ballad dedicated to Peach, and it was wonderful. And you know how yesterday we was talking about peaches, peaches? That's in the movie, and it's sung that way. It's a joke about, like, I don't know if it's a joke about, like, oh, it's Bowser's kind of silly and stupid, kind of dumb. So this is going peaches, peaches, peaches. Wonderful, and they really utilized Jack Black in this performance. You know, how close were they? I would say pretty damn close. You know, damn, I watched it on the Russian dub. I don't know, in Swedish it was, I read it with Swedish subtitles, but it was kind of just translated as peaches, you know. But listen, I can really talk a lot about every single scene in this, you know, and I might later. I'm gonna try to limit my talking of this movie beyond this stream. But I understand that a lot of people is gonna use my opinions and my words now as, like, holy shit, I need to know every single thing about this movie, because Joel is my, you know, I know this from Joel, you know. But I'm gonna say that, you know, watch this yourself, you know. And if you can't watch it now, of course, just wait a little bit. It'll come out on streaming digital stuff. And I want to give away everything, you know, because, again, but the movie's so full of little references and Easter eggs and little fun things that you'll chuckle at, you know. This really is a love letter to the fans and the you know, if you ever played a Mario game, you'll enjoy this. When they meet Donkey Kong, I nearly had a heart attack. As you know, I'm a big fan of Donkey Kong 64. They're all in the movie. Fucking goddamn Chunky Kong is in. And on top of this, the DK rap is in. But get this, it's not a remixed, re-vocalized version. It's the exact song from Donkey Kong 64. I am not making this up. They took it from the actual Rare game. They didn't make it like, oh, you know, here's a redundancy, you know, version. No, it's in. And that's what I was like, God damn, yes. Don't make a bunch of new crap. Just make it what we know. I loved it. I loved it. I even like Cranky Kong is in the movie too. And Cranky Kong is fantastic. And yeah. Joel done with spoilers. I assume no Tiny or Candy. Candy Kong was in, I think, maybe Tiny, maybe. There was a lot of monkeys in the in the crowd when Mario fights Donkey Kong, because basically Mario has to prove himself to be better than Donkey Kong, because Cranky is gonna loan out his army to Peach because Bowser's invading. But it hinges on the fact that can Mario beat, you know, Donkey Kong? So, you know. And basically, he does prove himself, and that's when the Mario Kart racing begins. Because it's a long trek to the you know, jungle japes for the Mushroom Kingdom, but they're like, well, we can take a shortcut. Let's take the Rainbow Road. And it is exactly like Mario Kart, you know. They pick their own vehicles. They do Rainbow Road, and they do the anti-gravity sideways blue wheel, you know. And it really does look like the games. They did not compromise here. They did not make a bunch of, yeah, it's kind of like it. But what really fucked me up was the blue shell incident. The blue shell is in it. And not to sound like a total narcissist, but I saw it and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. Zanzibar Island. It was a Joey reference all along. But you've heard me gush about this already, and I don't want to like go too much into the scenes and stuff that is, you know, but I'm just gonna, like, if you're curious about this, don't want to plan on seeing it, I can just reveal all the little like big surprises, right? Because I know you guys want to hear it. There is a post-credit scene. There's two, in fact. And you'd be surprised who shows up at the very end. I couldn't believe it at first. I was in the movie theater and it's like, okay, well, what are they gonna show? They cut down to the sewers again where the warp zone was. I couldn't fucking believe it. This whole movie was a vehicle for a Sonic crossover. Sonic comes out of the pipe at the end. Brr, brr, brr. Hey, these guys go pretty fast, huh? No, Yoshi shows up. There's a scene in this movie that I leaned over to. I saw this movie with Bacon, by the way. Bowser gets put in a jar in this, and I leaned over to Bacon and I went, did they really? I'm dead serious about this. You'll see it yourself and go, what? Wait, what? But okay, I'm gonna say this. Bowser is gonna marry Peach and all that stuff because she promises, you know, if you marry me, I will not destroy the Mushroom Kingdom, you know. And it's a sort of a bait and switch because she's like, fine, I'll do it. And they're at the wedding, and Toad's like, hey, here's a bouquet of flowers, you know. And as he's about to marry her, he's like, well, guess what? You know, it's a fight scene. And while that's happening, Mario and Luigi reconnect. And they've already had a big journey so far. And they've grown as characters. And again, as I mentioned before, how Mario's kind of mocked by his uncle or whatever it is. You know, he's got a lot to prove. And he's growing as a character, you know. He's facing these little challenges and, you know. But whatever. So, big fight scene. Bowser launches the Bonsai Bill, Bullet Bill ICBM towards the Mushroom Kingdom. A nuclear goddamn bomb. And Mario has the Tanuki suit on. And he flies up in the sky. And he baits the Bullet Bill from hitting the Mushroom Kingdom and Peach's castle by going near where the warp pipe is. The thing flies in there and it explodes. But by exploding, it brings in a shockwave of the Mushroom Kingdom into Brooklyn. So they're back in Brooklyn, and Bowser and everybody else is in there, and it's a huge fight. Wonderful. And guess what the fuck? The whole plot about this movie was, you know, Bowser's looking for the superstar, you know. And at the very end of it, Mario gets the superstar. Mario and Luigi together grab Bowser by the fucking tail and spin him and launch him off in the middle of fucking New York City. That made me smile so much. Fucking awesome. That was wonderful. Wonderful. The action scenes was great. And again, this is what I imagined this movie to be when I was like 8 or 9, you know. And I mean, this was everything I wanted. It was everything I fucking wanted. There was a scene in this movie that there was many scenes in this movie that made me laugh. Two things that specifically made me crack up. When Luigi and you saw the penguins from the reveal of this during the Nintendo Direct. When Luigi is in like lava jail, one of the captured prisoners is what is the Mario Galaxy star called? You know, the little like bulbous stars, the Luma. What are they called? The Luma, yes. One of the Lumas starts cracking these fucking nihilistic quotes about, oh, I long for this sweet release of death, and I nearly choked on my soda. Really dark jokes in this that was genuinely funny as fuck. This Luma was talking about like the how pointless existence is, and like, and when it was about to be drowned in lava, it goes, yes, yay. I couldn't believe they put that in. And overall, this movie did not shy away from like using the words kill, die, death, which really surprised me. It's like they didn't just like shit around it. They fucking meant it. So you die. Bowser wanted to straight up murder Mario. Yeah. No, it was great. It was great. There was a lot of really funny stuff in this movie. There's a part where, as you can see, I call him Wizardheimer, but I know it's Magic Koopa. Magic Koopa in this movie, Bowser is practicing marrying Peach, and Magic Koopa dresses Kamek. Sorry, well, whatever. Magic Koopa. You know, I go with the world translation. He dresses up as Peach, and Bowser's like proposing to Kamek, and he gets all flustered. It was great. No, this movie was fun, full of really, really, really heartwarming scenes, and it was just you feel these characters grow. And you know what sucks about seeing a movie like this? You don't want this to be over, and that's what I felt. Like Mario and Luigi, you really like these characters, and of course you can just play the games, but it's the performance that I really enjoyed. Like Charlie Days, Luigi, like I really like these characters, man. Fuck it. And I didn't want it to be over, you know? And I was like, shit, this movie could have been longer. I would have enjoyed it. It was 1 hour and 30 minutes sounds too long for how much stuff there seems to be in it. No, it just works, you know? I'm sorry that the spoiler section here is just me kind of just going, and then there was this. I sound like an 8-year-old retelling a movie to like the parents, and then they put this in the movie, and then they did this, and you know, it's like this stream of consciousness of information that you're like, okay, well, what the fuck? Again, this is like kind of the spoiler section where we just talk about it, but you have to remember, as I said at the start, I wanted this movie when I was a kid, and when this movie finally is here, I can't help revert back to being very childlike and juvenile and just think, oh my god, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted, you know. So was some performance of Charles Martinet? Yes, I talked about this earlier. Charles Martinet is in the movie, and he plays the inspiration for Mario in the movie, in the context. So, as I said, during the Super Mario Brothers like plumbing commercial where they play the Mario rap, Chris Pratt does the "It's a me, Mario. Welcome to the Mario Plumbing Company with my brother Luigi." Like, he talks that way, and then he's like, "Oh god, my fucking accent is terrible." And he got it from Charles Martinet. But Charles Martinet is also Mario in this movie. And he's just a guy that hangs around. And Mario took the inspiration from him because he wants to be folksy and kind of like, hey, check me out, you know. Charles Martinet is the real Mario in that context. But there's plenty of Mamma Mia and Let's Go in this movie. He does do that in the movie. But, yeah. There's even a lot of musical stings and cues from Luigi's Mansion, because when Luigi's in the Dark World or Dry Bones Land, he goes, Mario, you know, and that was like, yes, and then he played a little dun 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 dun. Ah, wonderful. And of course you can give me shit for saying, like, Joel, you're basically just saying this movie is good because it references a bunch of stuff you know. Fuck it. So be it. I was entertained. If I wasn't aware of what Mario Brothers was, why the fuck would I see this movie? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a Mario Brothers thing. You want to see your favorite game on the big fucking screen. It was the point. You know, I was entertained. Even if I had a tenuous grasp of knowledge of what this movie was going to be about, through cultural osmosis, I would have been like, oh, Mario Brothers, the plumbing guy that jumps on like turtles, you know. No, the whole member berry and panda nostalgia is such a bad faith argument. The whole point is to pay tribute to those things like that. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't know what these different enemy varieties is in the movie, you'd be like, oh, these are magical creatures in a magical place. So, hang on. There we go. Sorry. But, Koopas. It paid tribute, but didn't like stop and wink at the camera. Yeah, for sure. How would you rate it compared to the 80s Mario Brothers movie? You mean the 93 movie? I feel in ways they are similar. It just so happens that one is ever so slightly based on the franchise, whereas the other one is the franchise on the big screen. You know. It depends how tight you want your movie to be to the source material, you know. Which is more entertaining? Oh, this. This. I mean, I know I love 93 movie, but it's kind of also in a lot of irony. Because the movie was so... It didn't give the fans what they wanted, even in 93. This is a fucking Mario movie. Okay. How was Toad? If I can say any of the four core cast members, I think I liked Toad the least. I still enjoyed Toad because he gets a big monster truck during the Mario Kart scene. But I would say that compared to Donkey Kong, Bowser, Mario, and Luigi, or Peach, he's definitely my least favorite. But he was still had character growth and whatever, but hey, you know. Was there a lot of yelling? Sometimes, but, you know. No way Joey actually likes this movie the most. No, I really like it. Peach opinion. What I think of Peach? Well, I'll say this. I know some people were worried that Peach is gonna be recontextualized as like, I don't know how what was the term people throw around? You know when they cross their arms and that's the DreamWorks face, like, you can't mess with me. It's not really like that. It's not really like that. I would definitely say she's way more confident and like, I'm gonna get some shit done here rather than the games. But at no point do I think this was like, okay, you know, the thing, I will say this about the movie. I feel her character strength and the fact that she's confident is more about the fact that she grew up. They show that she came from the real world, and as a baby, she wandered into the warp pipe and lived here, and she was raised by toads, and she has a love for her kingdom, which they appointed her to be princess, you know, and she loves her people, and she just doesn't want Bowser to come and destroy it. So she's like, okay, I'm going to stand my ground and not have Bowser come here and flood it with lava. You know, that's basically it. Let's see here. What do you think about Yoshi? Well, you kind of saw it at the end of the movie, but you saw Yoshi's before in the movie. What? She's a normal woman that the Toads decided to make a princess. Yeah, because the Toads never seen a human before. And it was baby Peach, like, clumsily walking into the Mushroom Kingdom through a warp pipe, and the Toads were like, huh, who are you? You know? And that's the context for that. But she was surprised to see Mario in the movie. She's like, you're a human being? Well, you don't look like, you know. Was there a Shy Guy in the movie? Yes, indeed. Plenty of Shy Guys. There was even Sniffets. I think every single Mario character or thing you can stomp on was represented. A majority. Not everything, you know. Oh, Baby Mario and Baby Luigi's in it too, you know. Did it give any context as to why the warp pipes exist in the real world to begin with? They did not. They did not. And I don't think it needs to be. Because it's like Alice in the Wonderland. You don't... It just is a thing. It's a magical place, you know. Need to explain fucking everything. It's just magical. It's magic. I ain't gonna explain shit. Okay. If you have any questions, ask me now before I go back to spoiler free. Is Pauline in the movie? Yes. Did you eat anything today? I had a big tub of popcorn, and I just had a hamburger from walking home after the movie theater. Wario. I did not see Wario in the movie, but I guarantee you this, with the, like, you know, 100 million fucking Easter eggs and references, I'm pretty goddamn sure Wario was in it. Because there's Kid Icarus, Jumpman, Punch-Out, you know, Doc from Punch-Out is in, you have Wrecking Crew, like, there's a ton of shit in this movie. So, you know, yeah. I feel, if anything, the sequel, because obviously this is going to do very well in the theaters, in the market, you know. There's probably a high demand for a sequel, and I think, why not? Make it Super Mario Land 2. What would you want from a sequel? Hard to say, because this movie was better than I thought. And given if the movie is given in the hands of the same people, I trust that they're gonna make another really fun movie. So I don't know. I'll leave it up to them. Let's see here. I think with this being so successful and being so much fun, and of course not everybody will agree with me. This is just my opinion. But I think a lot of people are enjoying it. I would love to see more Nintendo movies. Could you imagine a Metroid movie? Not by maybe necessarily the same Illumination crew, but hey, it fucking would work. You think you pull off an F-Zero movie? You know, honestly, the Mario Kart scene made me think, like, you know what? Yeah, put Captain Falcon in it too. Metroid by Illumination, yeah, make it funny. It already exists. It's called Aliens. Bowser Jr. can show up to get Bowser from the castle. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, but again, if you have any questions before I end the spoilers here, if you just wanna like know what this this whole thing, like, I want to know the secrets, I don't have to watch it or whatever. Let's see here. What the fuck was the deal with the penguin? So they show that there's different, like, continents in the Mushroom Kingdom, or this world. You have, like, I forgot what the Mario Land desert is called. It's in Super Mario Land. Daisy's the princess of that place. Daisy's not in it, by the way. But you have different, like, zones, for lack of a better term. And the ice world is where the penguins... Sarasa Land? Yeah. The penguins from Mario 64 is where they live. And they were guarding the Power Star, you know, which at the start of the movie, Bowser steals. So, you know, I think Yoshi have their own world, so, you know. Does Luigi get become strong moment? What do you mean? Was Dark Luigi in it? Oh yeah, dude. Strong, independent Luigi. I would say this. Luigi cares for his brother very much, and he's sometimes seen as like, oh, you know, oh, dogs scare me, you know. And he's a little scaredy cat at the beginning of the movie, but at the end, where Bowser is about to torch Mario alive, and you think Mario is, you know, turned into some sand. Luigi was there blocking the fire with a manhole in Brooklyn. So it shows he rose above his fears. What about stuff like Metal Mario and the Flying Cap? The Flying Cap was not in it. Metal Mario was not in it, but 3 power-ups was in. Cat Mario was in it. Cat Mario is what defeats Donkey Kong, by the way. Not kidding. 2, Tanuki Suit is how he flies. So you're not gonna get Mario 64 wing cap. There's plenty of Mario 64 references in the movie, by the way. King Bob-omb shows up. The Mario paintings inside Peach's castle is in it. Any Mario Galaxy reference up here? Yes, there's a Luma star in it too. Oh yeah, the 2 other powers are the Mini Mushroom and the Ice Flower. Oh, King Boo's in it too, yeah. Spoilers, yeah, I know. Let's see here. How was Peach in the film as a character? I can say this though. I would much rather have this version of Peach that isn't just, "Dear Mario, I baked a cake for you." Like, it was just that. You know, there's a Barbie movie coming out. You know, she's a character in the movie. I liked Peach. I liked Peach. Any Birdo in the movie? I don't know, because there was so much shit packed into this. I don't remember. And again, you can probably this review might be irrelevant soon when this comes out on digital, and you can just analyze it yourself and whatever. But this is a little sliver in time right now that we just got done seeing it, and people are like reacting and like going, "Holy shit!" You know, I just saw the movie. Is there anything you wish was included in this film? I think it got everything. It had the Mario 64 thing where, you know, Bowser was spinning around by his tail. And Brooklyn was, like in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Shit, it was just everything I wanted it to be, you know. So, I don't know. I didn't think about it, you know. Dennis Hopper. It had the Starman music. Yes, it did. It sure did. Serious question. Do they give the blue shell a Koopa personality? Yes. He's not in a lot of it, but he's very vengeful. They had Pauline. They had Pauline in the movie. What about the pop music? Okay, this is where I get to talk about this. Another thing that I wouldn't say I'm a huge favor of, but there was some contemporary pop music in the movie, or more so 80s music, which is more evocative of the genre, the years this was done. It had AC/DC in it, Thunderstruck. It had Aha, Take On Me. And it had Holding Out for a Hero. And it had No Sleep Till Brooklyn, which is awesome. Who did Charles Martinet cameo as? I think people are telling me he was one of Mario's family members, but he also played a character where he was the inspiration for Mario. In the context of the Mario is Mario in the movie. Don't get me wrong, but the voice that Mario uses in the plumbing commercial comes from this guy that looks just like Mario, and that's Charles Martinet. You know. He also plays some of the Toads in the background. I mean, he's in the movie. Are the Koopa Kids in it? They were not in it, but I'm gonna guess, hey, sequel. He was the dad and the guy in the store. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, guys. How do you feel about the overall, about the orchestral non-pop music? Well, Cozy Condom was accurately played with a big score, and the sound mixing in this movie was really good too. Really enjoyed that. The thing that the Mario movie, unlike the Sonic movie, did right was that it mostly used elements from the games rather than something made up specifically from for the movie. No one can reference to. This was the main why the old Mario movie failed. Yeah, for sure. How do you feel about the Spanish dub? Okay, I'm gonna say this. Also, no actual humans. plenty of actual humans in the movie. What are you fucking talking about? Anything you were disappointed at or thought they missed? No, I was just happy with it. That's why I'm so happy with this whole movie. Everything that I wanted to be was in it. You know. All right. Boom. We're now back to spoiler-free stuff. So if you want to skip to this part on YouTube or whatever and just hear me talk a little bit more, I don't know what else to say. I think that I've never really sat down and watched Illumination's like Minion movies or anything stuff like that. But I mean, visually, this movie like is great. As I said, there's tons of Easter eggs. But you can say like, oh, blink and you'll miss it. Sure. But, hey, you could, of course, say, oh, it's a little cliche. It's a story about two brothers and overcoming a challenge and growing as people. But if you're going to shit on that movie with that kind of plot, what kind of fucked up movies do you watch? Do you watch movies like Begotten? What kind of... Jesus. It's a Super Mario Brothers movie. I don't know. Let's see here. It's good that it wasn't just Mario. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I thought that the cast in this movie, they transform into the characters, and I did not think of them as here's celebrities doing it. But yeah, story-wise, it's pretty simple to follow. There's heartfelt moments in here. I think definitely I want to see more of this version of Mario. And again, this version of Mario is not really fair to say, because it was just like the games on screen. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know what else I can say about it except go check it out yourself. If my review of this movie will color your decision to see it, I give it a thumbs up. I guess. But I had a blast with this. I had a really, really fun time with this. And, was the hate on Chris Pratt warranted? No, it kind of... The criticism towards Chris Pratt was the fact you don't sound like Mario. People wanted this movie to be Super Mario Brothers on the big screen. And you know what? They delivered, and in the context of this, Chris Pratt as Mario is fine. Charlie Day as Luigi is fantastic, and Bowser, Jack Black, is phenomenal. I loved it. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Seth Rogen does do the laugh in the movie. He does do the fucking laugh. He does do the laugh. He does. Okay. Going back to spoiler free. Boom. There we go. Spoiler free now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I thought it was a dream movie for Mario fans. I don't know if you're a dude from like the Far East in like Kazakhstan and you didn't grow up playing Mario games and you're gonna see this and like, what the fuck is this? I don't know if it's gonna have the same impact, but I don't think it's gonna appeal to you in the first place, because it's like, what is this kids movie? And it is a kids movie, but it's also just entertaining to watch. So hey, and it had parts in it that I don't think would make kids laugh, but as a man baby, there are jokes in here that sincerely I thought was really funny and clever. So there we go. Sorry if you got asked, but anything you want to see in the sequel? As I said, I was pleasantly surprised by this, and whatever the team and the writers that worked on this, I'm sure they'll do an excellent job in the future if they ever make a sequel. But I also think it was very important for Nintendo to have a tight-knit watch on this movie, because I'm sure Shigeru Miyamoto was like, okay, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. And I think that by doing so, we got a product here that was evocative and representative of what we love about Mario. So, you know, I think Nintendo will be more comfortable with more movies in the future thanks to it. You know, yeah. Anyway, we we don't know what else to say about it. Go check it out. We would like to play. So yeah, great movie. 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Okay, here's my real opinion of the fucking movie. Once again, Chris ruins a franchise. First it was Jurassic Park, and Marlowe. The movie horrible. I don't know, Bruce Wayne, you shouldn't go on IMDb and write shit like this, but you know. Yeah, so if you see reviews like this online, yeah, you know, bad movie. Gotta be a troll. I don't know. I just like to go on Metacritic sometimes, or IMDb, sort by worst, and it's always saying shit like, I did not enjoy a movie. Because you know what? When I see a movie and I don't like it, and I walk out during the credits, I want money back, because I did not enjoy Batman at no point, milked a bat and made a bat cheese. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Check the Rotten Tomatoes critic scores. When I saw this movie get poo-pooed yesterday, that was just a bunch of people that, like, I don't know what the fuck they mean. Because again, yesterday when we read this, the reviews, some of them were like, "Where is the scathing satire?" Like, I'm serious, like verbatim, they were saying, "Where is the scathing satire?" And it's like, I feel like it was just Bowser writing these reviews. Like, Bowser himself sat there going, "Oh man!" I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, guys. Really enjoyed the movie. Check it out yourself. Now, before I go, you're probably wondering if I did the bit. Did I do the bit? Did I shitpost like I did during the Sonic movie? I don't know. But I'll say this, just so you know, this is very spoilery. So, you know. Sonic. You can't see it in the shot, but there was a bunch of kids sitting down by the seats where we're sitting, and one kid turns around when I said Sonic, and he goes, "What?" Looked at me like, "Are you stupid?" That's why I laughed, because he looked at me and looked at me. Like, dude, I might be 7 years old, but what the fuck are you talking about? All right. As I said, I don't know if you enjoyed my review of this movie, because a lot of it was just like, Joey liked it. But I'll say this once again. Thoroughly entertaining movie. Get some pizza. Get some fucking piece of fucking pie. Get down to fucking Brooklyn. Watch the fucking movie. Watch the fucking Mario's. Tickle the fucking turtle. Get ya fucking stromboli. Get some spaghetti. Get some sauce. Some gravy. Cook the pizza. Get a glizzy. Ya fucking piece of trash. Stroke the cannoli. Watch the movie. Get some gabagool in ya. Okay. It's done. We've seen the movie. All that wait, and it was pretty fucking good. Here's to you, Super Mario Brothers Super Show movie. I hope you make a whole TV series where they just don't even do Mario Brothers shit. Or they do Mario Brothers shit. Episode 2 will be about them eating a pizza. Because the cast was so lovely, I would have watched it anyway. No, seriously, I loved it. Really good. 8 out of 10. Enjoyed it. From one pizza to the next. Pizza Tower next. Sit tight.